Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I was able to get on a podcast with comic movie marks Matt and Shane, and of course Dave, the film junkie. And we had, I think it was like an hour podcast. Tried to talk about the Snyder Cut, Snyder Con event, Snyder Cut stuff as well. And for some reason we got into Cinderella. But anyway, check that out. I'll put the link in my description. Check out that small, short podcast. Well, 1 hour actually. That's not that very short. But let's get into a little bit of updates for the future DCEU films. First up, it's Birds of Prey. There's going to be a lot more, and there's going to be a lot more actually. Pics of Huntress and Black Canary, and then a lot most recently, a little bit above Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. What seems to be escaping or getting kicked out of a house, a big house, with what looks to be Jared Leto's Joker. That's right. They kept David Ayer's version of the Joker look. Now, we know Jared Leto is not filming this at all. He is over in the, I guess you can call it the Spider-Man-less Sony universe as Morbius. So this is definitely not Jared Leto, but it's very intriguing that for what people are saying it's like a reboot or soft reboot, they're still keeping aspects of the original David Ayer's version of like Harley Quinn and now the Joker. It's definitely that version of Jared Leto's the Joker. Not sure, unsure if maybe Jared Leto will do a voiceover or we're going to have an impersonation of Jared Leto's Joker, but you can clearly see there that they're hiding Jared Leto, well, this version of Joker's face, but you can see it's the same design, that version of the Joker. So for people who love that, can be a little, a little bit happy that they're going to keep that version of Joker and they're not going to go with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. That is a different Joker, and we'll see how that would fit in, if at all, which they're saying it's not at all, but who knows, right? With the DCEU, we never know. It's quite a whirlwind of a universe, and we're always trying to play the guesswork here. But for fans of the Jared Leto version of the Joker, David Ayer's version of Joker, he still exists. That version is still the Joker, as at least for Birds of Prey and possibly the Suicide Squad. And next, a little bit here, we had this whole Batman Celebrations, Batman Anniversary, and it behooves Matt Reeves to actually put out something. Of course, he put out this tweet about Batman, and in the background, people started noticing, does that look like a script? Does that look like the script for the Batman? People were trying to compare that to different symbols. Of course, the first thought in mind is looking like maybe he actually kept the Ben Affleck, the Zack Snyder version of Batman, that symbol and that fat bat symbol. But then we kind of look at it even closer, and it kind of looks like the one from the 1940s comic, which is something that he'd probably want to draw more aspects of as being the noir type. Then some other people started to look at it further and try. It's very blurry. It's hard to do. And so this is all speculation that it could be a combination of the 1940s comic and also a little bit of the Ben Affleck, the Batman, the Snyderverse Batman logo as well. And perhaps this is because this is 20 years before the Snyderverse, and Ben Affleck did talk about how it's been 20. This is not the 20. The Batman that he was portraying was older, like 20 years later from the beginning of Batman, that this could be we're looking at like the evolution of a younger Batman gradually turning towards the Ben Affleck Batman. So, which is exciting for people who are into the Snyderverse and want to see that legacy continue. Perhaps we will definitely get to see how that Bat logo evolves into the Zack Snyder version of the Batman. But this is all speculation right now, and we'll know a little bit more. Maybe this is not even the script for the Batman. Maybe it's just a piece of paper. Maybe it's another comic. Maybe it's a book folded open. Who knows? Until we find a little bit more. But it got a little bit more of the excitement for the Batman and the conversation going for the Batman when Matt Reeves tweeted that out. I would have loved to see a little bit of teaser or something on, Batman's anniversary, but we'll take it. We'll take whatever we can get, right? So that is just a little bit of tinfoil, if you will, or something in regards to the Batman. Now, this is kind of interesting, maybe noteworthy today, as we've been hearing and I've reported that the big rumor is that they're moving on from the Ezra Miller and Grant Morrison script, and they're gonna, get a new Flash and so on and so forth. But now it seems interesting. Mario Robles, who has sources of his own, he's saying that he tweeted this. Nothing worth formally reporting just yet, but over the weekend I heard that The Flash will probably get a new director and that the studio continues to be high on Ezra Miller. That totally contradicts what else is out there, so I'll keep digging around to make sure before reporting. And so he's gonna try to, hopefully that is true. Hopefully this is not a April Fool's joke. He doesn't seem to be that type of person to do April Fool's joke, and I trust that he trusts his source. Should we trust his source? That's the other thing that we'll have to continue to see. But hypothetical now, if they did want to get a new director and they're continuing to go with Ezra Miller just to keep this universe secure, that is great news for people who love Ezra Miller as the Flash. Great news for the Snyderverse fans who want to see Ezra Miller continuing as the Flash, and perhaps get to see Ezra Miller's passionate take on the Flash, the multiverse, using Grant Morrison as his writer to make a interesting, a darker aspect story for the Flash. Not saying the Flash is a dark character. I mean the story that he will, or the story that he will occupy will be a little bit darker. But I think that's great. It was necessary to get through those emotions. Like I said before, the Flash to me is like Spider-Man, where they're lighthearted, but deep down inside they have a tragic story of loss. And I think in order to portray that onto the screen is builds character and makes the story a little bit more interesting than just a light, fluffy comedy. And I think that will work well with the DCEU. But we'll see. That's hypothetical. We're not sure if Ezra Miller is still around. We're not even sure if Ezra Miller is even out. So all this is rumors. This is what's going on. This is what I've been hearing. And I just want to make sure, it gives a little bit of hope for Ezra Miller fans and for Snyderverse fans as well. So there is that. Now, this one's a little bit funny. And this is all props to Real Anarchy, John Aaron, Craig Lynn, Everts. They've got this site called, and I urge you to go and read it. Go to their site, subscribe to their Twitter feed, Real Anarchy. They've got an exclusive on this. It is Mustache Gate. That's right. We actually get to see Henry Cavill with the mustache in the Superman suit in what looks like to be an editing studio, and you can actually see on the left hand side what appears to be Joss Whedon looking over this thing. They've got dots on his face. Now a lot of people are saying it's April Fools, but no, they are the Real Anarchy is dead serious. This is real, and you can probably tell this is probably real. That there's dots on the face and everything. This is where they will CG out the mustache. Right. CG out the mustache. And they're so ridiculous. ridiculous. And we've talked about this for so long. Justice League, what a crazy thing. I would actually prefer, if they're gonna go with the mustache, full-blown mustache and beard, throw the black suit on, just do that. You know, it would have been save you so much more money. It would have been easier to throw on a beard than rather take off something and figuring out where the lips are and everything. This is just so ridiculous. This is going down as one of the most shameful things Hollywood has ever done, Warner Brothers has ever done, and I can't believe people can go in a straight face and go into the movie and watch this thing and not see something wrong with Henry Cavill. But it's laughable. It's such a joke, but I'm glad this is coming out. It needs to be exposed to the audiences, to the masses. Anything to bring out to the conversation, to the Snyder Cut, this has to be revealed, and this is big. I mean, release the mustache cut, man. Like, it's so ridiculous. Now, I understand why they probably wanted to take out the mustache and beard, because they got this huge, one of the best action set pieces in Justice League is mustache-less, Henry Cavill shirtless fighting the Justice League. It was so incredibly done by Zack Snyder that they're like, we have to keep that. We have to keep that. We can't compare. We can't make anything that great. So we're going to have to keep that. So everything else has to be mustache-less. So that's why they went in this. Now, why did they not even throw in the actual mustache-less Henry Cavill scenes of him finding the suit, seeing Alfred? I don't know. It's like gold right there. But I would have thought, you know, that Zack Snyder had intended, and Henry Cavill was interviewed too, that his cut has him open up the shirt, doing all that hopeful and optimistic things. Why, oh why did they have to do that? Was it just to shoot truth, justice, and the American way? You know, well, I fight for truth. I don't even know the words anymore. Did they really need the hope is like the car keys? Did they really need those little conversations he had with Batman before he takes off to save the building? Did he really need all that? I mean, it's ludicrous, really ludicrous. And it just, like I said, go down in history as some of the most embarrassing things that Hollywood has ever done. And shameful of them, and not delaying it. Like I think Dave Film Junkie had pointed out on the little image, you see it says like September of 2017. That's 2 months before this thing releases, and they didn't want to delay it, and we all know why, because Sujihara and Emberg wanted a bonus check, right? So terrible. What a terrible thing, but I'm glad it's coming out. I'm glad they're being exposed for this. I hope more articles write about this, including with the Snyder Cut himself, and which there are. There's a lot more articles regarding Justice League confirmed, not the major trades. Now, when I mean major trades, I mean like the Wrap, Variety, and the Hollywood Reporter. Not there, but we've got some, Batman News, Total Film, a lot of other countries, Italy, Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, the French, they've all been, the Spanish, they've been posting their articles as well, and I've been sharing doing my best to share all those articles, get it to the mainstream, make sure everybody reads that or at least know of it. I know some of them may be negative, but that's okay. I think negative, positive, any press is good press to draw awareness, to draw the curiosity to the Snyder Cut, and make sure this doesn't just go away, because we're not going to let it go away, and this is why we have to do it. And some great news: Austin at Austin Vibes went to WonderCon in Anaheim this weekend, right? And this is interesting. He said went to WonderCon in Anaheim this weekend, spoke with Michael Schellings over at the DC panel. I asked him if the release the Snyder Cut movement has reached Warner Brothers Pictures. He confirmed a majority of Warner Brothers staff is aware of the movement. Who is Michael Schelling? Michael Schelling is the director of publicity of publishing, DC Entertainment Publicity and Communications Contact. So he is part of Warner Brothers. Michael Schelling confirmed a majority of Warner Brothers staff is aware of this movement. And he said that he barely wanted to comment more than he did. It's a touchy subject over there at Warner Brothers. But after Austin asked if the team over there was aware of the release of Snyder Cut movement, he did say yes, they're aware of it, and it wasn't his place to speak on it any further. And during that conversation he had with Michael, you could tell he was being very cautious of whatever he said next. So the staff is aware. Warner Brothers know it. This is the pressure. We keep the pressure up at Warner Bros. Keep it going. Keep involved. Getting more people to talk about it. Getting more people on our side. This is how we expose it. This is why we get it open. We force their hand. We force them to talk about it. We force them to say something. We're gonna force them, and we're gonna keep the pressure on. It's not letting go. Now, at first I didn't want to be so blasting things, but I think this will work hard on that. Anything that Warner Brothers Studios put out, like that whole Warner Brothers UK had put an image of the Flash, a clip from the Flash from the Snyder Cut, not the theatrical cut of Justice League, and so we kind of just kept saying release the Snyder Cut on it. I think that works well. I think that keeps the pressure on. If you see a Facebook post of Warner Brothers, go there, message, put release the Snyder Cut. Keep the pressure on. Anything to get in mainstream. If you know of a blogger, if you know of an interviewer, if you know of anybody that could, like the MTV interviewer, I don't know, I forgot his name, but if you know any of those, tag them. Make sure they know about the Snyder Cut. Make sure they know that we're still asking for it. Perhaps they will ask the cast and crew of the original Justice League on other movies. When they ask questions about other movies, I know it seems like very bad and stuff like that, but if they did anything like what MTV had done and asking Jason Momoa and having Jason Momoa come out and acknowledge the Snyder Cut, that will work wonders for release of Snyder Cut movement, and I think that would in any case bring in a more broader appeal. So we have to keep the pressure on. We have to use the bloggers, use the interviewers, use these guys as our weapons now, as our ammo to gain awareness, to get more people asking about the Snyder Cut. In fact, I want to say it right now, Tyrone Magnus. He's a YouTuber. I follow him. He's a huge Snyder Cut supporter. He has finally followed at RT Snyder Cut and in his way promoting the Snyder Cut, asking Warner Brothers for a Snyder Cut, and so he's part of our movement now. Thank you so much, Tyrone Magnus, for joining us. 1 million subscribers. Now he's going to be he's starting to go to 10 million subscribers. So lots of energy there. I've been following him forever, and I'm really happy that he's on our side. But that's how we got to play it. This is how we got to do it. We see it now. Warner Brothers knows. Everybody knows, like that song, the beginning of Justice League. Everybody knows. It's almost like Joss was trying to tell us something. Everybody knows, and everybody will continue to know. We will not let up. We will continue to fight, and we will continue to expose Warner Brothers. What Warner Brothers did, we will continue until every single person that is stopping this from being released is gone, and then we'll continue until Warner Brothers finally addresses the Snyder Cut. All right, guys. Well, that is it. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.